Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The polls are at it again, and I like that because that shows, to a certain extent, independence. And they show balls. Not that I kind of agree with what this MEP says from Poland, but because they, good or bad, they have the arrogance, not arrogance, I don't know, they're free. They know there are going to be consequences to whatever they say and whatever they do, but they go ahead and do it nevertheless, and that shows independence, and I like that a lot. And courage, because they wouldn't have done this without courage. And in particular, I have this guy, a Polish MEP, that is going to make some statements that are very, very unpopular with what we are supposed to think about Ukraine and Russia. So, actually, this is just obviously his assessment or opinion, but we can complete this in a certain way, and I will show you how. Russia Today. EU states, European Union states, need Russia, not Ukraine, says Polish MEP. Ukraine has up to 4 months to make its counteroffensive work, the conservative lawmaker has warned. I made a video on that statement. But here, EU states need Russia, not Ukraine. I think EU states need both Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine for some resources and for grain, and Russia for resources, obviously, and grain, and the market, where they can sell things that other people produce. You got that? All right, then, let's move on. Ukraine urgently needs to show progress. Okay, we got that one. It says most Europeans, we got that in a different video. I'm not going to cover it now. And I'm quoting, most European nations, such as Germany and France, do not need Ukraine. They need Russia to return to the world economy. They need Russian gas and oil, end quote, the veteran politician told UNIAN on Thursday. Well, you might be, this guy, let's get his name. He's a Polish MEP, Witold Jan Waszczykowski, I would suggest. All right, so I will call him Witold Jan. So he suggests this. I don't know how old he is, but why? Because these guys are trying to, in Poland, I saw some articles, they're trying to make a law, or the law is already there, but they look after people who were in the Communist Party or were supporters of the Communist Party in 1990 and before, and they cannot hold office or something like this nowadays. So I don't think this guy is, 60 or 50, but nevertheless, there's a way of purifying, how they call it, the political spectrum by finding certain things that you were a member of the Communist Party, you cannot participate in our society anymore. That's how it sounds. That's why the Poles, good or bad, they seem to be independent in their, and they upset some interest out there, but not enough, because they know what they have to offer to those interests, and sometimes when they say things like this, those guys are just ignore that. But why? Because the big interest is fulfilled. So let's see what's next here. He added that Kiev had, okay, I got that one. He added that Kiev had 3 to 4 months to show progress in its counteroffensive against Russia. If it fails to deliver, I'm quoting, Europe will push you to freeze the conflict and start negotiations with Russia, as happened in 2015. He explained, calling the scenario pessimistic. Well, the Russians will not fall for the 2015. If they fall again for 2015, they're idiots. I'm talking about the Russian leadership. They got burned too many times. I think, as Lavrov indicated, we will do it ourselves and we will not trust the West again. Well, I think you learned after that 1,000 years. All right, so the year he referred, okay, this is the Minsk agreement. We don't care about that one. Let's see what these guys have to say about. No, he doesn't say anything about why. I mean, he made a point here, actually. Need Russian gas and oil, but he forgot the Ukrainian grain as well. So this Waszczykowski, who served as Polish foreign minister from 2015 to 2018, currently chairs the European Parliament's delegation to the EU-Ukraine Parliamentary Association Committee. He is a member of the Poland's ruling conservative Law and Justice Party, or I don't know if it's Law and Justice Party. Anyway, Warsaw has been one of the most vocal supporters of Ukraine in the standoff with Russia. So let's go back to this guy. I don't think he's wrong whatsoever. I think we can complete his claim by they need Ukraine as well. I'm talking about the Europeans. The European nations are the same. I have to say, make this not an analogy because it's actually a comparison, a valid comparison. How should I put? I have to put it very, very mildly because I'm on YouTube. They used to have, now they destroy it. They get economically developed, right? Obviously, and for that you need resources. Europe is depleted of resources mainly. So they need areas of spheres of interest that they make sure that those spheres are in their little community and nobody else can tap into them. So they need resources. And that's why I said it's going to be a not bad, it's going to be a good comparison, but not popular comparison. Because that gets you with a mind in 1930s with another guy, a crazy guy, Adolf, remember the guy? He said, Lebensraum. He said, well, we develop so much, we need sphere of influence, we need to expand because we develop so fast. These guys right now are saying it differently and they are doing it obviously differently than these guys. They get you in the European Union showing you the lollipop. You're going to suck on this later, but come over here. And once they get these countries in the European Union, why do you think they got Romania in the European Union? Just because Romanians are... No, not because of that. They still have oil, they have gas, and they have a market, and have workers. And a cheap labor, by the way. So they wanted that in the European Union so it doesn't fall on a different block, or being by themselves, I don't know, sell the gas and oil and all that to other countries outside of it. So it's like a protectionist thing. So they expanded like that. So they will expand into Ukraine to get their grain, because without the Romanian grain, and the Ukrainian grain, where do they get the grain, the Europeans? From the Black Forest Mountains in Bavaria, or where? Or from the forest in Poland? Where are they going to get? Poland has coal and other shit that provides these guys here for their economy, for their industries. Look at the European map of the industry, and why do you think Germany is the most industrious country in Europe? Just because I know the Germans are inventive and hardworking and used to be disciplined and so on. The key word is used to be, and so on. But without the resources, you lose the war like the Germans did. With no resources, you look at the tank, can't move, airplane cannot fly, and you just don't have anything. No food, no nothing. The same, you can't expand. The same with the Germans, with Germany. So their industry need all these resources outside of Germany. Outside. So where they get it from? From the Romanians. They get it from that, and cheaper. Why? Because in the European Union we have different tariffs that we just put aside. So Poland is needed, obviously. It's 40 million people population about, right? It's a big country. It's prosperous. It has resources. And they have a little problem with Poland. Poland has balls. And I'm glad they have balls. Good or bad? Why I'm saying good or bad? Because sometimes they do certain things that are really, really going to harm them. But, sometimes history doesn't let you forget. And the problem is you don't forget, but you eliminate when you... You just remember when you were but when you forget about that one. Again, I have to use these kind of terms because on YouTube I can't really have a free, conversation, or not a conversation, but however, communication with you, my friends, because they will tell us what we can or we cannot acceptable based on a weasel over there who's ready. Yeah, say it. I mean, say it. I dare you. They don't have to, because sometimes they look into things that are not there and they just push the button, and then it makes me vomit. But hey, we have to work within this framework. Otherwise, what? Let them talk. at least we can send a message here and mildly use euphemistic speech and camouflaged and hinting certain things. Otherwise, if we let these guys that are allowed and there's nobody waiting with a finger to push a button to send them away, they're gonna say, oh, see, right there, this is all you got. No, that's not all you got. You got this guy, you got this guy, you got this guy. Mildly. But if you're smart, and you are, because if you are here in minute 11, you either like what I'm saying or you really hate what I'm saying, and you're looking for me to say something that you can say, see, it's either or. Is not in between. And I see that in many comments that sometimes I read, I can't get them. Sometimes friends send them to me, now snapshot and so on, say, hey, screenshots, hey, here it is, my friend Emil, read this one. And I either had a lot of love or a lot of hate. In between, rarely. So I thank you, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.